After 2 weeks of non-conference football, the Tigers play their first CAA game of the year. The Tiger Football Report starts now. Welcome to another edition of the Tiger Football Report, brought to you by the Green Turtle. I'm your host, Spiro Morekas, along with the head coach of the Tigers, Rob Ambrose. Coach, the Tigers step into conference play this week, and you're stepping in deep because you've got the Maine Black Bears coming up. First time we were all talking about this before the show, probably since late in the 2013 season in the playoffs, where it's two top 10 teams that the Tigers are involved in the football game. The Black Bears come in 7th, Towson comes in 8th. And this is a team that last year shocked the CAA. They pulled like a Towson, where they were picked to finish near the bottom. They end up winning the conference. They had a coaching change, but in the first 2 weeks of watching their film, do you see anything different?
Haven't missed a beat. They hired internally, guys that already knew what they were doing, have their finger on the pulse of the system and the kids, and they've basically just kept the train rolling. They look very, very impressive. Truth be told, they've taken what I think is probably the best defense in the country and made it better. And they took an offense that was pretty good and made it electric. So whatever is good, whatever you want to say as a commentator, they were good last year, they're better this year.
They, like you, had to play a triple option team. They did it last week against Georgia Southern. You did it in the opener against the Citadel. So both of your passing defensive numbers are a little bit skewed because you played teams that didn't throw the football. But through 2 games, they've only given up 196 yards through the air. So obviously defensively, they've done a good job on that end. The thing that is impressive, though, is their quarterback on the offensive side, Chris Ferguson, a junior, who's probably going to end up being the all-time leading passer in Maine history. Through 2 weeks, impressive numbers, almost 800 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, just 1 interception, and 76 pass attempts. He knows what he's doing.
He does, and he's got a lot of skill and talent around him. He's got an proven all-league wideout already on one guy, and he's got another guy who probably will be by the time this is over. The stats are semi-gaudy, and it's not like they're doing anything crazy. They're just making plays, and they're very, very good football players. So, like I said, it's one of the best defenses. It's one of the best defenses I've seen, period, at this level. And there's a couple guys that are going to play in the league on that defense. I could say the same thing about the offense now. So everybody's going to have their hands full with playing with these guys, and we're going up there to play them. And the only positive I could say is we're going to Maine in the month of September and not the month of November.
You take on this Maine team, and last year came here to Johnny Unitas Stadium, won 35-28. It was one of the best. I mean, you lost, but from an entertainment standpoint, it was one of the best games of the year. You were able to put up some yardage against that great defense last year, so they're going to know that you're a potent offense coming in because you got just about everybody back from last season.
Oh, they're a high-quality team. There's a reason they're ranked in the top 10. We got some players too now. As much as I want to give them a compliment, we got some players too. But if I were going to watch college football at this level this weekend, this would be the game I would want to watch.
What is it that you were able to do against them last year from an offensive standpoint that you were able to put 28 points on the board?
We ran the ball a little bit better than some of the other teams did, and that kind of kept the ball out of their hands and allowed us to be successful. Made some plays in the pass game, and to be honest, Tom ran really well. Like some pre-drawn up run plays for the quarterback, and all of those worked out pretty well, and did a good job scheming them up. But they're a different team. They're a little bit better team, and we're going. I won't say it again. We're going to have our hands full. They're good.
When you look at your offense from last week against NC Central, the one thing that you probably weren't happy about was that Tom Flacco got sacked a couple of times. What is it with the offensive line? You're mixing in some new guys this year. How long does it take for them to gel to where they're going to be as good as they can be?
The more we can get the same 5 guys out there together, clearly the better we're going to be. But right now, due to like nicks and bumps, that hasn't been allowed to happen. We did give up some just blatantly poor technical sacks. A couple guys that just weren't as dialed in at the beginning of the game, but once they settled down, we were pretty dominating.
And that's something you're not going to be able to do this Saturday.
No, we're going to have to start fast or we're going to end up on our butts.
You also have done a good job of mixing up your running backs in the first 2 games of the season. And again, when you've got a talent like Shane who can do it, running the football, catching the football, kick returns, punt returns, do you consciously try to maybe limit his attempts during a game because it is a long season? I mean, you're playing 12 games this year.
It's not a hard, fast rule, but there's a certain number that we have in mind, number of plays, number of touches, number of hits, both for he and Tom and a couple of the other guys, actually. That's just a smart knowledge to have. It's a long season. This isn't a 10-game year. This isn't an 11-game year. It's a 12-game regular season year, and that's a whole nother game. It means a whole nother set of hits and a whole nother, the cool thing about these guys is because of the limited number of plays we've played, because of the circumstances which we've been in, we're being rather efficient. We're spreading the ball out, and everybody's touching it. Everybody's doing well. Nobody has gaudy numbers. The only gaudy number that we have that they're really proud of is being 2-0. And when you have talented players that are selfless with their ego like that, you have a chance to be really, really good.
So the Tigers will try to get to 3-0, 1-0 in the CAA on Saturday night when they travel up to Orono. Game time is 7 o'clock. Gordy Combs and I will have it for you at 6:45 on the pregame show on both CBS Sports Radio 1300 and TowsonTigers.com. So for the head coach of the Tigers, Rob Ambrose, I'm Spiro Morekas. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Tiger Football Report. And as always, go Tigers.